Hey everybody, Shield here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode, we just got ourselves started. We attuned to the 8th right in the center of Ul'dah. We need to make our way to the Gladiators Guild and talk to Cesaroga in the market. But first, I want to take care of all of the mail that we have. As you can see up here, we've got 20 pieces of mail from various pre-orders and collector's bonuses that I have. Greetings, Salwan. I'm a delivery Moogle Kupo. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Moogles are supposed to hide in trees and avoid contact with outsiders. Why ever would they agree to carry about letters? Why, indeed, as if I had my way, I'd be curled up under the canopy of a nice oak, dreaming about some beautiful Mooglette with a rainbow-colored pom-pom, Kupo. But no. The moon had to go and drop from the sky, causing all that terrible commotion. Eighth rights were shattered, and link pearls rendered useless. For moons, the poor, wingless people of Eorzea had no way of communicating with each other, beyond screaming at the top of their lungs, which no one really approved of. That is, until the little horned ones asked us to assist them by delivering messages. At first, we were wary of showing ourselves, worried that one of you might catch and skin us, like you do every other forest furry. But once we saw how much we were appreciated, we knew we'd found our calling. And I personally promised to try and not read anything along the way. Look what we have, 20 letters. Okay. That's just a little tooltip about the mail. So like I said, all this is from various pre-orders. This tells you about untradeable items. You can't trade them, obviously. Unique, you only have one of at any time. This is primarily geared towards like dungeon drops. It tells you how to use certain items, which I'll get to in a minute. Baby Behemoth, this was the Behemoth barding for when we get our Chocobo. Coral Bell, that is a mount. Cursor and a Fantasia. The Cursor is a minion, which is a little small pet that follows you around. Fantasia lets you change how you look. Chocobo Chick is a minion. And these, I'm not quite sure. I don't remember what those are. I'll have to look when we get it. Minion and the Ahriman mount. A little crystal, Black Mage barding, Fat Chocobo whistle, Moogle small pet. Oh, that just tells you about minions. This is part of the veteran series. So after you subscribe for a certain number of days, you get different outfits. So this is the Cloud Strife outfit. Baron helmet from Final Fantasy IV. Griffin mount, which is what I'm probably going to be using because I really like it. Kane small pet, another Fantasia. Firion armor set for the veteran bonuses. Zidane. Alamegan earrings and Red Mage from Stormblood. Stormblood collector stuff. The Squall outfit. Aetheryte earring and Gremlin from... I want to say this is from Shadowbringer's pre-order. Gunbreaker weapons. Collector's edition mount. Wind Up Bran. Minfina's earrings and Wind Up Hallam. These are the most recent items from the Endwalker pre-order. So I'm just going to delete some of these letters. I don't think we'll be getting anything in this mail section, because I don't plan on making any microtransaction purchases. So just clean out these. Okay. So, Behemoth Barding, that's for the Chocobo. Baby Behemoth is a minion. Coralwell is a mount. Cursor is a minion. Fantasia, we'll just throw in the corner there. Black Chocobo Chick. Cascadier. Uniform Voucher. Honestly, I don't know or remember what those are, so I'll just set those to the side. BDI Minion. Aramon Mount. Little Crystal Minion. Black Mage Warding. Bad Chocobo Whistle. Wind Up Moogle. Griffin. Kane. Red Mage. Sildra. Arts. Baby Gremlin. Ronnie Mount. Fran. And Palm. So now if we go into character in our main bar, mount guide, we can see all the mounts. Like I said, I'm going to use Griffin. I don't know if I can use it before we get access to the Chocobo mount, because that's part of the story. I'm not quite sure. If you look in the sidebar, I did add our limit break to this, to the side hotbar. As a tank, we'll almost never use it, but I just have it on there because this is my shared hotbar. So if I ever, if I play a different class or whatever. Oh, that's right, I have not attuned. So this is what they meant when they said attune to the crystal aetherites in Ul'dah. So now we have to walk there. So we'll just take this path, grab the Adventurers Guild, Aetherite, and then I guess make our way towards Cessaroga first. And just make a little loop, grab all the Aetherites. Lots of running around today again. Oops, I did not know there was going to be a hop there. Quick travel throughout the city can be achieved by placing your hand behind the Aetherite shards. And it tells you about the Aethernet, which is literally just you choose where you want to port in town, and you go. Aethernet Adventurers Guild. And as we get more Aetherites, those will show up on that list. So there's Cessaroga. Let's grab this Aethernet shard first. And you are? Oh, a newly come adventurer. But of course, yes, I am Cessaroga. What can I do for you? Ah, you would have me teach you the ways of the marketplace. Very wise. As for my fee... What? You expect me to do this for free? Surely you jest. My dear adventurer, when you ask an Ul'dah for a favor, you should at least try to make it worth his while. Judging by your garb, I rather doubt you could afford my services, but the fact you offer nothing is laughable. So, when a quest has an item to turn in, it will pop up this little item request and your key items page. And you can either click and drag, or you can do what I did, which was right click, click the item, and hand over. Oh, Mistress Momodi instructed you to seek me out, did she? Consider yourself fortunate to have such influential friends. I shall be brief, and you shall be attentive. And then I'm actually going to turn this off, so that way we can just advance. I thought it was going to be easier, but it's not. You stand in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, the busiest and most profitable marketplace in the Sultanate. Being advantageously situated in relation to the other city-states, Ul'dah's markets have ever served as both the literal and figurative centers of Eorzean commerce. All the great overland trade routes lead to our city, and the majority of maritime trade between Vilbrand and Aldenard passes through our ports. Because of this, countless companies and consortia have chosen Ul'dah as their base of operations. They see to it that this marketplace is awash with merchants and moneylenders, day and night. Anything a man could ever desire can be purchased here, provided as he has sufficient funds. Surely, there's something you seek, adventurer. A deadlier sword, perhaps? Or a shinier trinket? Whatever it is you want, the exchange will have it. To the north, you will find merchants peddling armor and accessories, curatives, and crafting materials. And to the south, you'll find weapons, tools, and an assortment of other useful items for sale. Seek out a particular merchant, or browse to your heart's content. But do try to remain aloof should you find something that piques your interest. Decisions made in the heat of the moment are usually unwise, especially when coin is concerned. That is all the complimentary aid you should have from me, and far too much for my taste. My regards to Momodi. Now off with you. And the bringing up of weapons and armor and all that brings a good point. I did not mention the armory chest. So the armory chest is separate from your inventory in such a way that any gear will go here first. You have 35 slots in each area, so you have 35 for weapon, head, legs, etc. This is where your gear will be stored. You can take things in and out. So like, we don't need the chicken knife, we don't need the revolver. Helmet of Light we could put on, but that is an experience boosting item, which as I mentioned, I'm not going to be using. The Baron helmet we can put on though, and toggle our headgear. So actually I'm just going to leave everything in here still, because there's not going to be that much gear that will end up being completely filled. Even on my main character, I only just recently filled my armory chest. That's because I'm leveling all of the other jobs at the moment. All three of these earrings are the same. They give different amounts of stats based on the pre-order that they were from. And they all give 30% experience to experience bonus, so we're not going to be using them. And they gave us an extra ring, which does nothing but +1 vitality, so we will put that on. And our next goal is the Gladiator's Guild, which will be this way. And we'll just loop around here. We'll grab these Aetherites on the way. Lots of chores to do in this episode, unfortunately. But once we get through this, we should get right into the combat and the rest of the game, hopefully. A lot of these we probably don't need, because I'm not going to be doing any mining or crafting on this character. And this right here, if you're interested, is the Blue Mage Carnival. That I'm not going to be going into, but that is the entire process. Because Blue Mages have to... You see here, the Blue Mage spellbook is completely separate. They have to learn all of their skills from having them used on them. So like if a Blue Mage wants to learn Bad Breath, I think is one of their spells, they have to have it used on them by a Marlboro. Oh, hey, Gill Spammer. Report. We don't like Gill Spammers. Welcome to the Gladiators Guild, friend. Tell me, are you new to the thrills of Mortal Kombat? Well, whether you are or not, you are new to us. If you would take your place in these hallowed halls, you must be willing and ready to undergo the most rigorous training. You must endure cuts and bruises beyond counting, and like is not far worse. A daunting prospect, I concede, but there is no way if you mean to take to the Bloodsands one day. That came out really weird. And why wouldn't you? The Colosseum is only the most celebrated place of public entertainment in all of Ul'dah. What else could a poor man amass a fortune so vast as to one day allow him to claim a seat on the syndicate? Oh, where else? Okay, that makes more sense. There's not an Ul'dah alive who is inspired by the rise of the self-made man. And there's no truer embodiment of this than the gladiator who wins riches and fame with his sword. Throughout its long and storied history, this guild has nurtured countless champions. Our training methods are second to none, and our members ever strive to develop new techniques. If you desire true glory, to fight and triumph amidst the roar of 10,000 voices, then this is where you belong, adventurer. Think of it. Think of your legacy, and if your soul stirs, join us. And that we will. What will it be? Will you rise above the masses and inscribe your name in legend, or will you resign yourself to mediocrity and die in obscurity? Yes. A decision you shan't regret. One moment. Make way for Aquaman High Shield. Fresh meat coming through. Now then, before your enrollment can be considered complete, you must present yourself to First Lord Mylla. Seek her out and obtain her approval. Found her. Not much of a seeking out. I heard Lulu Sue. So you're Aquaman High Shield. 'Tis a good, strong name. On behalf of the Gladiators Guild, allow me to welcome you. I am Mylla, Guildmaster here. So, you wish to study our arts. I presume you have your reason for choosing the sword over all other weapons. Perhaps you think it's the easiest to learn. A sword is a simple weapon, but to wield a blade well is anything but simple. For every Colosseum champion to emerge from our ranks, there have been countless disappointments who failed to achieve greatness. Bear that in mind before you answer me, Aquaman, for I do not ask this question lightly. Have you the strength to live by the sword, and, if it be your fate, die by it? Yes. Then welcome, Gladiator, to your new home. Let's not waste time, shall we? I will gauge your aptitude for the sword. Just outside the gates of Ul'dah, you'll find plenty of Marmots, Hornets, and Shrews. Slay 3 of each and return here when finished. A simple task, but essential to your training nonetheless. Now, go. And this quest, also in tandem, introduces you to the hunting log, which I don't remember when we get access to. But what that is just different enemies that you're tasked with killing once per character, and it gives you extra experience. So we want to go back to Momodi for the main storyline, and then we have our class quest here. So we'll go to Adventurers Guild. We'll talk with Momodi. Or maybe she'll talk to us. Lots of text. Not so much cutscene. How was your tour of the city, Aquaman? Get lost, did you? Aye, well, Ul'dah's a big place with lots to see and do. But wandering around aimlessly doesn't pay the bills. If you're serious about making a living here, you'll need to remember where things are. So when you go exploring, explore like you've got a purpose, huh? Alright then, all that's left is for you to work hard, make money, and spend it here in the quicksand. And this is, I think, enough for level 3. Nope, 100 off. So, if we cannot get a quest, I think you've seen a few of them here already. They'll be red. And if you go into the quest, try and accept it, it will tell you what the requirements are. In this case, all jobs and all classes and jobs level 4. So actually, we might have to pick up the other classes then. Which, if we have to do that, I will do that separate. I'll just pick them up off screen and then I'll pick up where we were. Because that's kind of annoying. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know how we would pick up the other ones because there's classes in the other cities. This tells you about combat and achievements because we got that. Because somehow walking right here gave us the entire map, but I'm not complaining. So when you have a kill quest, which is just to slay enemies, you'll see each one has the marker over their head there. You'll see dots on the map, and the red area is just where things for that quest are. So if this was instead a search quest where you have to find a certain location, it would just be a circle in the general area of that location. So combat, like any MMO, is very simple. With your ability, you auto attack, and your ability goes off. So right now, all we have is Fast Blade. We don't have Riot Blade yet, which is our next skill at level 4. But once we get it, there's a little more that goes into Final Fantasy's combat, being combos. So each, actually I shouldn't say each class, but most classes have a combo. Where, actually I don't know if Riot Blade will show it here. Yeah, so if you look where it says combo action Fast Blade. Oh, excuse me. So Fast Blade is the combo action, so when you use Fast Blade, Riot Blade gets more powerful. If you use Riot Blade on its own, it does not continue the combo further and is weaker. So it's always worth it to do your main 1-2-3 combo. And if you're, I think it's Dragoon has a much longer combo, but it's only one. So later on we'll have a 1-2-3 combo. We'll have a secondary finisher for our third ability, and Paladin has a magic damage phase starting at like 60 something, I think. So in the trade-off for having one combo, Dragoons is 5 button. It's 5 hit combo, I think. But we'll just keep making use of Fight or Flight, which is our 25-second increase. And we'll just keep killing Shrews. And finish up our quest for Mylla. And make use of return to go straight back. Because until we get a mount, I want to cut out as much running as I can. And it has a time, I think it's 15 minutes. Oh, okay, you can see it right on the icon there. It's 15 minutes cooldown. So Ethernet, go to Gladiator's Guild. And there are these other side quests I could pick up, but... Welcome back, Ackerman. I take it you've dispatched the beasts, and with ease. Rest assured there will be far greater challenges to come. If you wish to master the sword, you must test yourself against a wide variety of foes. To this end, I present to you this hunting log. And there's the hunting log back. It contains information on creatures ideal for a gladiator in training. You will doubtless gain valuable experience should you seek out and slay them. It is only with such practice you will recognize and eliminate the deficiencies in your technique. Your training under me shall continue once the haft sits so snugly in your hand that you cannot imagine holding aught else. Until then. Next quest is at level 5. And the hunting log. So, as I said, I'll actually drag that down there. So each level, each tier, so this is 1 to 10, level, rank 2 is 10 to 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50. Will give you a various amount of different enemies to kill, and you get experience for each section of the log, and then for completing the entire chapter. So let's go actually take care of one of those, because we're not quite level 4. So actually go to the Adventurers Guild and go out to Central Thanalan. Oh, that's gonna happen a lot, I promise. Adventurers Guild. And we did get food. So food, along with increasing various stats, gives you a slight experience bonus. I'm not excluding food, it's only a 3% experience, but it gives us a lot. Well, not right now a lot, but it gives us stat increases. So, if something is in your hunting log, you'll see this. That didn't help. This other icon. I don't even know what it looks like. It looks like a little wave thing. But you can see the Star Marmots are part of our log. So we need to kill, I think it was 3 of them. Yeah. So we'll kill 3, get the experience bonus. We've got a high quality ingredient. And it tells about the combos. So high quality is basically just, it's primarily for crafting. There is high quality crafted gear, which is better than regular crafted, obviously. But I'm not gonna get too deep into that because it's more crafting related. For us, high quality equals better stats, and that's it. So now we have Riot Blade. I can show. So once you start the combo with Fast Blade, you'll see Riot Blade has this little thing spinning around it, and that lets you know that you're in the combo. That's the part of the combo you're in. And if we use Riot Blade on its own, you can see it only does 7 compared to 20. And that makes sense because the potency is tripled when it's in combo. So it looks like we can pick up the next quest now. It didn't have to do all the classes, just the one we were using. So grab this quest. Well, youngling, how are you finding our fine Ul'dah then? Got your bearings about you yet? If so, mayhap it's time you venture beyond the city walls. The bustling streets of Ul'dah are one thing, but the wilds of Thanalan, that's another thing altogether. I know of Loki my fancy speaking to, and he you. Name of Papashan. You'll find him over at the Ul'dah dispatch yard. No doubt he'll have some work for you. The dispatch yard's over in central Thanalan. Just head out the door across the hall, and you'll see the great gate of Nald staring right back at you. Pass through it and head east. You'll come upon it before long. There's dangers beyond the wall, though, more than I care to count. Nothing too terrible, mind you, but feisty enough to attack you if you draw near it. Don't say nobody cared enough to warn you. So now we're actually getting into the main story, which is nice. And something I did not point out, if you click on the objective, you can see where it is. So like, where we meet Papashan, he's in Central Thanalan. And then we can see he's right where the marker is. And I cannot use the Griffin yet. So we do have to wait until we get the Chocobo through the main story. And we'll kill a couple of shrews on the way since they're part of our log. The extra experience is gonna be nice. We only need to kill 3 of them. Grab that experience. Almost level 5. Alright. Well, you certainly look the part of an adventurer, my friend. Might you be the good soul Momodi advised me to expect? I am Papashan, station master of this humble dispatch yard. An empty title, I assure you. I truly am no more than a tired old Lalafell passing his final years in quiet and solitude. 12, no, there have been plenty of both these last 5 years since the calamity struck. The devastation was vast. Yet now, true Ul'dahs work together, doing all in our power to rebuild what was laid to ruin. By the sweat of our brows and the love of our home, we have built Ul'dah to the grandeur and majesty that you see today. The railways, which run through the dispatch yard too, were born of the noble efforts of a great many souls. But there is still much work to be done. The wounds left by the calamity run deep. Isolated areas beyond... Oh, okay. Isolated areas beyond our lines of supply remain, and there are places yet wanting for relief and restoration. Ul'dah needs the aid of you and your brother, friend. In fact, never has our need been more dire. Which brings me to the point, I suppose. I do believe I may have some work suited to one of your abilities. Excuse me. So now we have 3 different options. We can choose a pair of boots for Disciples of War, a pair of boots for anybody, or a piece of Allegan bronze. The Allegan bronze is your, it's just extra gil. So you get from the quest, but you can sell this for 100. Disciple of War, so until we get to gear that's specified for each job, stuff that's marked Disciple of War is usually for DPS characters. Or, well, I shouldn't even say DPS, I mean, melee. Well, not melee, like, here, I'll just show you. So your Disciples of War are your tanks and all of your DPS. Well, your physical DPS are these guys here, and your tanks. Your Disciples of Magic are your healers and your casters. So the piece of gear that we just got is for Disciples of War. That encompasses these 7 classes in terms of leveling, and then once we get into dungeons, there'll be gear specifically for tanks that's going to have the higher armor but the same type of stats. And then that other piece of gear was for the healers and your casters. So we can grab the next quest from Mylla, but I think we'll just grab this quest from Papashan and then call our episode for today. Since you've come all this way, perhaps you can perform an errand for me. It just so happens a number of sentries have been sent to guard the area. A dispatch to the dispatch yard, as it were. They have long been away from the shade and feather beds of the city. The hot days and cold nights can play hells on the mind and body out here. It isn't much, but go and give them these Twilight Pretzels, would you? I find comfort food always helps when I feel like killing myself. Maybe that's not the best note to end the episode on. No. That should be fine. We made progress today. We got a couple levels. But we will end the episode here. I'm actually going to end it in Ul'dah so I get rest experience, so that way I don't have to do as much extra grinding. So next episode, we will start back by the 8th rate again, and we will bring these guys their pretzels. Thank you all for watching. Like like, comment, subscribe if you feel so inclined. I'm not going to pressure you. And take care.